Hey there, my friends. Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I thought we would do some fun embossing today. We're going to do dry embossing and heat embossing and put together a quick little card with some of the elements from the new catalog. So let me go ahead and put them together for you. Alright, so we're going to do some dry embossing with the new 3D embossing eyelet folder. And what I did was I embossed a panel of basic black. I know it's hard to see on the screen, but it's got this really great eyelet texture. I'm going to tell you something. When I was a little girl, my aunt used to make me homemade dresses, and one of my favorites was a white eyelet dress she made for me. So when I saw this folder, I was like, I have to have that in my collection. So I have just a basic black card with the eyelet embossed on the front. Okay, so that was embossing one. Then I took Leaf Collection, which is a new background stamp. I used Versamark ink and clear emboss. I'm not embossing for you on screen today, but what I did is I took a piece of the new ink color, I think this is a shamrock one, and I did some heat embossing with clear emboss. So if you don't have all the colors with all the papers yet, remember our Versamark will give you a watermark image, right? Kind of like a color on color, but without the actual color ink. And then if you want to step it up a bit, use your clear emboss powder, and that'll really make it pop on your cardstock. So I have a piece of 3x4 in that shamrock green for my card today. Okay, so heat embossing. Dry embossing, heat embossing. So now I have these two elements, yeah? So from there I thought, okay, now I need a sentiment. I decided I'm going to stick with my tried and true So Sincere, and I'm using the So Very Proud of You. That seems like something we can really send in just about any kind of a thinking of you or congratulatory card. And so I'm going to use a die cut piece from the new Unbound Beauty DSP. And so this is a coordinating print with that green. And I die cut it with my Perennial Lavender dies. Is that what they are? No, Perennial Postage dies is what I use. Okay, so I'm going to do one in black, and then I'm doing the smaller one in this DSP. Okay, and I'm going to put the two of those together to make a cute little sentiment tag. So let me just do that stamping for you. So I'm just using my Memento black ink. You could emboss this as well. I'm just going to keep it simple and just stamp it with my Memento. And I'm just stamping my So Very Proud of You onto my smaller square. So by doing the die cutting, I've got that cute little perforated stamp outline for a little bit of added texture. Now I'm going to put these together, and I'm going to kind of twist them, so to speak. So normally we would, you know, a lot of times we say, okay, just put the one inside the other like a nice little frame. Well, I'm going to take the bottom one and put it twisted, all right? And then I'm going to add this one on top, square. So they're going to be offset to each other. And I really thought this made a cute little token kind of embellishment to use on the card that highlights the outline of that die. So now that's just going to get a couple of dimensionals on the back so that we're ready to put those on when we get there. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a little framing and offsetting. So this one is 3x4, so it's not exactly the center size of the card, but I'm going to center it with a frame on this side. Okay, and so I'm just going to add some liquid adhesive to the back. Now when you put adhesive down onto a textured panel, you want to make sure you get good adhesion. So if you want to use your Stampin' Seal, or if you want to use the tear and tape, sometimes I use dimensionals because they really are good with everything. But if you're going to use a flat adhesive like the liquid adhesive, really give it a good press so that you get good adhesion. Okay, so that's a little offset framing. And then I'm just going to take my simple little tag here, a couple die cuts and a simple stamp, and put that on this right hand side. So kind of offset so we don't hide all of that embossed beauty and the texture behind, but at the same time we don't lose the quite decorative little tag. Okay, so now on the inside, I'm going to leave mine blank for a moment. I've just got some white, but here's a little trick. This is something new I've started. So usually I say, okay, we want to embellish the inside every now and then. And usually what I say is say stamp that and put it down. And then if you have some leftover paper, right, go ahead and add a little paper ribbon to the inside. But we don't always know what we want on the inside. And sometimes when we stamp, we smudge, right? I'm honest, I smudge too. So here's a little trick I'm trying. We'll see how well it goes. I'm just going to adhere this paper ribbon kind of just to the bottom edge. So that's going to leave the top edge of that ribbon loose. Okay? Leave it a little bit loose. And then after you go ahead and you pull this out of your card box and you're ready to send it to somebody and you know what you want on the inside, either can you write your note or you can stamp your sentiment, and then I'm thinking this can just slide right in behind that ribbon later on and just add a little adhesive behind it at the time. So that's a new little trick I'm going to try out on my cards and see how well that goes. So if you enjoyed today's card, please leave me a comment. I love knowing that you're watching and that you're enjoying my projects. Again, the things I used today were the perennial postage dies, the Leaf Collection background stamp, the new Eyelet 3D embossing folder, and my tried and true So Sincere sentiment stamp set. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you're doing some fun stamping. If you need any help, you can always reach out by email or leave me a comment. I'm happy to assist you in whatever way you might need. Alright, go ahead and do some fun stamping and I'll stamp again with you real soon. Bye-bye.